What is up, fight fans? I am Jason Burgos, and I have the great pleasure of being joined by a legend of the boxing game in and out of the ring. He is one of the best boxers of the last 50 years. He's a massive influencer in the sport as the CEO of the Golden Boy Promotions. And even more than that, he's the man I've had many arguments about because he did beat Tito Trinidad in 1999. And that is, of course, Oscar De La Hoya. Mr. De La Hoya, sir, thanks so much for the time today.
What's up, my man? Thank you. It's good being here. Yeah, thank you for having my back with Trinidad. I mean, it's funny. Every time I go to the island, everybody's a huge Trinidad fan. Obviously, he's the national hero. But they always come up to me and they whisper in my ear, oh, you beat Trinidad, but just don't say anything, don't tell them I told you.
They know the truth. They can act how they want, but it's fine. So many questions. First one, before we get to boxing stuff, let's talk about this new partnership between Golden Boy and Rey Rebel Fast Channel. They'll be airing this new Friday night fight series starting on May 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, which will showcase a lot of the great fights that have been under the Golden Boy banner. How did the deal come together, and why El Rey compared to so many options, channels, streaming services that would love this content?
Yeah, no, it was a no-brainer. Obviously, I mean, I think that Golden Boy, El Rey, we share the same passion. We share the same audience basically, and boxing goes hand in hand with entertainment, and El Rey has been doing such a wonderful job representing our culture, our Latin roots, our Mexican roots. And that's what Golden Boy is all about as well. If you take a look at our fight roster over the years, we've promoted the biggest, best fights out there in the history of the sport, including Marco Antonio Barrera and myself and Mayweather and Pacquiao and Canelo and Ryan Garcia. So I think, merging together and having this collaboration, introducing these great fights to the fight fans, to the network, was a no-brainer. And I have to give kudos to my chief business officer, Philip Button, who made all this happen. He had a vision. He ran it by me. We tweaked it, and here we are. We're launching Friday on El Rey Golden Boy Promotions right before the Canelo fight, Munguia. It's gonna be a fun weekend for everyone to watch.
Was there ever a time that a Netflix, a Hulu, Apple TV Plus came calling for this kind of thing, or it just happened and it was just the right thing at the right time?
I think it was just the right timing, perfect timing. I've always been a big fan of El Rey. I'm a huge fan of the movies, the content they have on El Rey, and I just felt that this content that we have with Golden Boy was just very valuable, and we can complement each other. It was very valuable to us, obviously, because we could have sold it anywhere, or we could have collaborated with anybody. Yeah. But I'm a huge advocate of trying to just give us a good name, give us a good product, give us Latinos good partnerships, and it doesn't get any better than this. I think that El Rey and Golden Boy is going to be a great partnership for many years to come.
You were very busy recently helping to promote Ryan Garcia versus Devon Haney. In the lead up, everyone, seemed worried about Ryan's headspace, unusual behavior and everything. Then, you have the shoving on top of Empire State Building, Haney's father's, Haney's father. You have been around this game for decades, but was there a point where it was just like, oh, this is exhausting, getting old for this?
So normally, before a huge fight like this one, Ryan Garcia and Devon Haney, which takes place on a Saturday, I got to New York on Monday that week, and instantly I hear, my gosh, Ryan Garcia needs help, and he's going off the handles, and I'm saying, like, what do you mean? What's going on? I just saw him train, and he looked sensational the other day. Mm-hmm. Well, we're very concerned about him and this and that. So I sat down with Ryan, I talked to him, and everything was fine. And, what he did was brilliant. You have to really take your hat off to Ryan, because he fooled us all.
Yeah.
I knew what was happening because, look, in the fight game, Devon Haney's style is one that he's kind of like Mayweather. He'll let you punch yourself out, and he's the boxer, and he fights in his back foot, where all his weight is in the back foot. So he allows you to come in, and that's where he peppers you. You know, he gets the distance, and that's where he peppers you. So Ryan Garcia, what did he do? He pissed off Devon Haney.
Yeah.
He told him everything he had to tell him to piss him off. So guess what happened? Fight night. Now Devon Haney's fighting on his front foot.
Yeah.
And now Ryan Garcia's peppering him. So psychologically and stylistically, I mean Ryan just played us all. I mean, he played Devon perfectly. He was trolling everybody. And was I concerned? I think that Monday I was concerned a bit when they told me that he had people up in his room and he was drinking.
Yeah.
But when I talked to him, he was perfectly fine.
You have made it clear, you know, Bryan and Haney rematch is not in the cards. What's your overall game plan, you know, for his 2024? Why is Haney rematch not in the cards? And do you have anybody in mind that you really like?
Yeah, Ryan Garcia's mentioned that he wants to fight anybody from 140 all the way up to 154. So let's see, there's Pitbull, who's there. Yeah, there's Teofimo Lopez. There's a lot of fighters. There's Boots Ennis, who's a great fighter, great champion. Yeah, there's a lot of great fights that we can make. You know, Terence Crawford, another one at 147 or 154.
All right.
That's the beauty about Ryan, is that now he is the man. Now he can call the shots. Now he can fight at 140 or 154.
Yeah.
So he's gonna pick and choose in between who he wants to fight. I'll sit down with him maybe in a couple of days or after this big event, Saturday night, with Canelo Munguia. I'll sit down with Ryan and then we'll map out the next fight.
Earlier today, it was announced Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson will actually be a sanctioned pro fight. It's not going to be exhibition. So what are your thoughts? Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Texas Commission giving a guy who's going to be 58 in June like a pro fight license?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Texas, you know, where the old boys are, you know. I mean,
they gotta say Texas. That's it.
Right, Texas, where the good old boys, you know, call the shots. But look, I think it's going to be an event. It's going to be an entertaining event. I think that Jake Paul is obviously going to come out swinging, and he's taking this fight serious. And you know, Mike Tyson is too. But Mike Tyson is what, 60 years old.
Yeah, it's going to be, yeah.
And he has to be careful. And I love Mike Tyson. I mean, I'm not critiquing this fight, or I'm not. I actually think it's great because you're going to get a whole different audience, more eyeballs, new eyeballs to the game of boxing. But where I'm concerned is when the fight goes, let's say, over 4 rounds, and conditioning starts to kick in. You know, the age starts to kick in for Mike Tyson. Yeah. And Jake Paul is like 27, 28 years old. He's young, he's strong. He's going to come at him with everything. So that's my only concern. But other than that, I'm happy for them. They're making a lot of money. They're going to, you know, attract more eyeballs to the sport of boxing, and you know, just stay safe out there, because those punches from Tyson. I mean, if Tyson lands one, forget about it. Jake Paul's going to sleep.
Last question. So when this whole Jake Paul influencer boxing stuff began, Triller, a few years ago, I think most of us figured, it'll fade away. This is a fad. But here we are, 2024. Paul and Tyson are fighting Cowboy Stadium. Mayweather's doing exhibition fights. You are a very savvy businessman. Has there ever been a thought like, you know, let's create a part of the Golden Boy roster for influencers, for maybe older boxers that want to fight? Let's corner that market that's bringing maybe back fans that went away from boxing, and kind of, like you said, bringing in a new audience. Has that ever been something you've actually considered?
I did consider it. I did consider it after the Tyson Roy Jones fight on Triller, I believe it was. I was considering. I own a brand called KO. It was a KO. It's KO magazine. It hasn't been in circulation like over 20 years now, but I own it, and it was one of the most popular magazines for boxing in the world. And so I thought to myself, why don't I revive that brand and call it KO Entertainment.
Okay.
And so I was gonna start, doing all these influence fights, but then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm a purist. I'm gonna stick to what I know. I'm gonna stick to what I love. I'm gonna stick to old school boxing and just try to make the best fights happen. That's it. And that's exactly what boxing needs. I mean, I don't knock on these influencers fighting and this and that. I mean, more power to you. You do what you want to do. But boxing right now needs help, and it needs me to make these big fights happen, to continue the momentum of what boxing has right now. And right now, I mean, look, with Canelo and Munguia, with Devon, Haney, and Ryan happening, with Fury and Usyk taking place in a couple of weeks, boxing right now is on a high, and so I want to just focus on that and continue, because I'm telling you, we haven't scratched the surface with boxing. Boxing, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So if done right, look, this can be a multi-billion-dollar business.